stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff to get to today, of course. There's James Gunn rumors, the Avengers Doomsday trailer. We're going to briefly talk about how ridiculous Stranger Things is. But that was the main thing, is just to kind of quickly do a reset, do a 2026 reset. And probably the biggest thing we want to just get over with is the Filoni news. And so real quick, I know that you guys said that you guys were looking forward to this, and a lot of people are excited about it. A lot of people are glad. When it comes down to it, I think it's already been destroyed. There's already been destruction to it. I don't know. I just don't know if there's anything that he could do that could fix anything. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean,
that's kind of what was on my mind when we were talking about this off stream. Was it's great that he's coming in, that Filoni's coming in, and he's one of the guys who's loyal to Lucas, and he's been there since George Lucas. But man, the damage has been done. Like, what can they do? They're gonna have to start a whole new saga, a whole new storyline. Maybe that's the whole Ryan Gosling Star Wars, get the women involved. Oh, Ryan Gosling, new Star Wars. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Back when they announced Kathleen Kennedy was taking over Lucasfilm, when George Lucas sold the company years ago, I thought back then that Dave Filoni should have been chosen as CEO over anybody else. Like, he just seemed like the most qualified. He was the closest to Lucas. He understood the business. He understood the story. He understood what Star Wars was supposed to be. There's videos all over the internet of him and Lucas side by side working on stories and everything back in the old days before Lucasfilm was even like very big. And I just felt like he was the right choice. Well, they didn't choose him. They chose Kathleen Kennedy. And here we are, how many years later? She's tried to make what she calls a new Star Wars for new fans. It didn't work. She's ruined the brand. Dave Filoni coming in, it's a good thing. It can't get any worse. I feel like he does understand Star Wars the way Lucas does, or Lucas did. Kathleen Kennedy does not. She tried to create a new brand of Star Wars that just didn't work. So it can't get any worse. But it's like you said, the brand's already been destroyed. Are people going to come back? Is Disney going to allow him to do what he wants to do? Because remember, Disney has to green light everything. So it doesn't matter who's in there. Disney just comes in and pretty much starts chopping up all the work that's been done. And eventually the release we get, the final copy, is not what actually was originally there, because Disney just chops it up and does what they want to do anyway. So we'll see. But he definitely understands George Lucas's vision for Star Wars more than Kathleen Kennedy. Hopefully things get better. The first thing I would do if I was him was I would go in there and I would just start canceling every woke movie they currently have in the works and just start over from scratch, except for the Mandalorian movie. That'll continue, of course, because he's working on that. That Mandalorian was his thing. He's known for Clone Wars. He's known for Mandalorian. And I think he did Star Wars Rebels, and he might have had to say in Bad Batch, but don't hold me to that. But a lot of the work he's done has been anime, but his main thing is Star Wars, The Clone Wars. 7 seasons of Star Wars, The Clone Wars. It's some of the best Star Wars work I've ever seen. I like the anime. Might not be everybody's thing, but I thought Star Wars: The Clone Wars was very well done. So
I drank the Filoni Kool-Aid. We went nuts over it because it was Star Wars in a drought season, right? When we didn't have Star Wars going on, we didn't have any new movies or anything coming out, and so that was something that I drank too. And I actually did enjoy some of the Clone Wars. Absolutely, there are some good stories there, and he built off of. I mean, there was at one point during the Clone Wars, I was like, okay, he's just literally taking every alien that we saw in the cantina, and he's creating a story with that race on their planet. And there was a point where he was just doing that with everyone. And so it was kind of cool. It was really cool to see these characters kind of open up in their new thing. Again, it's just my personal opinion. Again, I saw the light on Filoni. I think Filoni is slightly incompetent. That's my opinion. I think he's still going to probably steer the way I mean, he might veer a little bit this way. He might do a little bit here and there, but in general, he's still going to do the same thing that they've been doing. I mean, the only thing he's contributed with live action so far has been Ahsoka. So we'll see. It will be interesting to see what happens. But, honestly, at this point, no one cares. Right here, Shinobi says, for the record, the fandom was already turning on Filoni long before his announcement. And as history has shown us, it won't be the end. So, again, it's like, this is Filoni. This is perfect. This fits perfectly into everything that I've seen and kind of woken up about Star Wars. Is that Funko Pops are so stupid, and you've got Filoni as a Funko Pop. Okay, so this is just things that they're not synonymous with Star Wars, in my opinion. Again, whatever. That's just anyway. Kind of silly.
That might be an unpopular opinion with some folks, Ben. I personally am not a big fan of the Funko Pops, but goodness, some people go so wild over them.
Well, if you just look at Funko Pops in general, just think about it. Let's analyze them for 2 seconds. So if you look at every Funko Pop, what do you notice about the face? Every single one has the exact same face.
They all look like Stewie from Family Guy.
They look like Stewie, or they could be interpreted almost as like an NPC, an NPC meme. Like it's literally the NPC in plastic form right here. That's what it is. Again, on drugs because of the big black eyes.
I was going to say the big beady eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what Funko Pops are. And again, I'm an old guy, so of course people are going to, younger people are going to accept it more than I will, of course. But again, this is something that has nothing to do with Star Wars. Funko Pops, any of this flat, giant faces, these giant anime faces. No, sorry. And Filoni's like classic for doing that. He brings in these cats that look like they're from anime. Anyway, this is just me being nitpicky, but Star Wars fans, we are nitpicky. We're nitpicky because we care, because we love the characters, we love the lore, and we want to fucking live there, right? That's anyway. If it was real, that's I don't know. I might go crazy if it was real. But let's see here. Let's find some other weird Filoni-ness here. So Dave Filoni trying to resuscitate Star Wars as a brand by playing with his action figures after a decade of corporate rape. Anyway,
I'll tell you what though, if he wants to try to revive the brand, in my opinion, a really good project he should try to do would be a live action Clone Wars. I don't know, if done right, it could be really cool. If done right.
Well, with that story being already told, it's like all of us diehards are ready. We're ready for something without Ahsoka. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, it doesn't have to have her, but they could do a different arc.
But with Filoni, it will, though. That's the problem. I think it's literally, if you want Filoni, you're going to get Ahsoka times 10. Like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to see Ahsoka everywhere. And that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but it's going to be, I bet you anything, Ahsoka's going to be in that Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling. So I bet you anything she'll be in it.
Doesn't it take place before episode 1 though?
It maybe not. Maybe I could be wrong. But
we don't know a lot about that movie, but I'm already a little turned off by the title. Like, I don't know, it just seems boring.
Starfighter
seems boring to me.
Well,
wasn't there a Star Wars video game, Star Wars Starfighter?
Yeah, Star Wars Starfighter. There was Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron. I don't know.
Those games were sweet.
So since we're talking.
Oh yeah,
about
GameCube. Yeah, I played that.
Yeah, the GameCube one, dude. It was sweet.
So these are the shots from Starfighter. I mean, again, it's like it's too little, too late, though. That's the problem. Is that it's too little, too late. None of us, not people. I mean, you gotta ixnay everything and redo it all, and they won't do that. So
I think we had talked about this when Rise of Skywalker came out. I am not a fan of having big name celebrity in Star Wars because even from when you go back to George Lucas, correct me if I'm mistaken, but Hamill and Ford were not big stars. And then McGregor and Christensen were also not big stars. Like, he gets these unknown actors, so I don't know, you don't really attach previous roles to their acting. And the whole Gosling, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan.
I'm sure it'll be okay. The thing is, it's going to be okay. It'll be milquetoast, but it's going to have feminist undertones and all these other crazy things. But let's see. Star Wars girl says shills act like Filoni is a god. The truth is that he's a lame hack who gives himself cringe cameos and is responsible for the destruction of George Lucas's vision under Disney. And so I will say that everything that I've seen him do in live action, he's just basically turned X-wing fighters into cop cars. So I don't know if you've seen it, but if you watch some of the new Star Wars shows that are on Disney Plus, it's literally every single time you see an X-wing fighter, they're pulling someone over like a cop car. It's ridiculous how they turn the X-wing fighter into into kind of this derivative kind of bullshit role in the lore. And it's just to me, and I get what he's doing. He's trying to do something new and whatever with it. But again, it's something that I don't look forward to. I don't care. We've been talking about replacing Kennedy for years, and she's never left. So when at this point, I will believe it when I see it, that she actually leaves and Filoni actually steps up and Filoni actually does something good. I will believe it when I fucking see it.
And remember, this is supposedly just a leak, so we'll find out within the next 2 weeks if he was actually chosen as CEO. I mean, everybody's blowing this out of the water, and it all came from a leak, so we'll see if it's even true.
Imagine if he's not. Oh, man.
I know, like...
Then he's not liking this news. It's like, dude, it's not even me.
Like, what if because it leaked, Disney decides to change their minds and not choose him because of the leak? Even though they were going to. But anyways, you're referring to the scene in Mandalorian where the X-Wings pull over Mando, and it's something about he doesn't have a transponder or something turned on, and then they pretty much chase him into an ice planet, and he crashes his. Yeah, that's what you're referring to.
Then they follow him again, and they find him again. So they pursue him in the ice, and he almost dies in the ice, and they're still we're just cop cars. Hello, like the whole thing is it was just shitty in my opinion. It's like you're turning the X-Wing fighter to me is something special, and you're turning it into a police car. It sucks.
And if you look at it canon wise, like they shouldn't be the police. Like it was the end of the Empire and right before the New Order. Like what? Why are the X-Wing policing anybody? What's going on?
He's trying to say like, oh, they took over the government, so they're gonna take place of the Star Destroyers or something like that, and it's just dumb.